Is linked below the like button in the description. We have gone over one-to-one relationship attribute. We've gone over many-to-many attributes of relationship. Now we are going to be going over a one-to-many. So this is when a relationship attribute can be migrated only to the entity type on the N side. So this is very similar to what we have up here, where we have this manager start date, and we want to either link to the relation managers or we want it to the entity department because we have this entity right here with total participation. So this is very similar. We have employee works for a department. Now the employee has attributes and keys, social security, name. The department has name and number. The employee, all of these employees work for one department. But that department has many employees because each individual employee has to report to some department, but all of them work for a department. There cannot be an employee without a department. This is total participation, hence the two lines right here. The N means that there's many. When we look at our employee start date, we typically would pair it as an attribute with our relationship. However, if we wanted to pair it with an entity, we can look at employee and department. We always want to combine this attribute with one that has total participation. We can migrate it there. So we can see if we have our employees, we have E1, E2, and E3, and they work for, like, let's say Department 1, Department 2, Department 3. Well, they all have an employee start date. However, if we link this to our department entity, we're going to have a problem. And this is because it'll only have the start date for the specific department. We can see that if we look at the blue, what's not correct is we have E1 through E3 all working at, like, let's say Department 1, but our E4 working at a different department wouldn't be, like, tracked right here. So we just want to make sure that we link our employee start date to either the total participation or more typically the relationship. And that's going to be it for this. A one-to-one and one-to-many are determined subjectively by the schema designer. So that's going to be all for attributes of relationship type. An attribute conceptually is going to belong to a relationship, but we can always pair it with an entity if we follow certain rules, just not for many-to-many. Next, we're going to be looking at recursive relationships.